what you want.
Hey, what's up, guys? It is Friday, February 9th. Last week, we cranked out Jerry Parrott's truck. He showed up Monday morning on the 2nd, and it was a running, driving CM849, all the stuff that would go with it, with the bump box and a nitrous controller and the arc panel and all that stuff. We yanked all that stuff out. I personally had about 40 hours of install time on wiring that thing myself. I thought I was going to be able to get it done all by myself in a week, but I did not. I got to, what, Thursday, Brandon? About Thursday, Friday, I had to tag Brandon in to help me because there was no way I was going to get it done by myself. So we had a total of 54 hours in the truck, top to bottom. We got it done as far as wiring goes, but the truck had some issues. Jerry wants to go change the turbo. There was no speed sensor on the turbo. He wanted to take the nitrous solenoids that he had off and put the nice block from Wagler on there that has the 3 solenoids in a row. So he took the truck home. We function tested it. We did play with it on the dyno a little bit and basically decided, you know, hey, it's 7 o'clock at night. It's done enough. We're not racing for a couple months yet with his truck, so he went ahead and took it home. We got him some different turbo stuff on the way so we can get a speed sensor in there, different nitrous stuff on the way. Jerry's going to get all that stuff done. We're going to see him back here in March, but check out the couple days of work that we did. All right, 9:35 Monday morning, we got Jerry Parrott's truck pulled in here. Jerry, you're going to run 590 this year, yes, right? Yep. Well, some local racing around Valdosta and stuff like that.
No lights out, no mercy, and some no prep.
Yeah. So this is the plan we put together last year, basically to get this truck in here. It currently has a Nitrous Express Maximizer 5, a smart relay, got a 12-spot arc panel, a CM849 factory ECM in the cab, a few relays and stuff like that. So we're yanking all this stuff out. I'm going to utilize his 2 bulkheads up here because he has a really nice Firepunk harness. So I'm just getting the pin out now from those guys. So all this stuff under the hood is going to basically remain unchanged. I'm going to add a few sensors. So we're going to put provisions for a turbo shaft speed sensor. This turbo doesn't have the ability to put one in it, but he plans on changing to one that does. So I'm going to put provisions for a shaft speed sensor down here. I'm going to put provisions for a MAC valve here. This is kind of a boost controller mechanical thing, but we're going to be able to make it so we can add provisions in the future to be able to control the wastegates. And then we're also going to put an O2 sensor bung in the exhaust. So Jerry's, I got him taking the door off right now, but when he's done with that, we're going to have him pull the exhaust over here. We're going to unwrap it, weld the bung on, and then so basically we're going to utilize everything that's already here, including all the nitrous wiring, all the wiring that already exists for the lights, everything that already exists. The primary point of my work will be in the cabin here. So basically I'm going to spend the next 3 or 4 days right here in this door. I'm going to pull the factory ECM out, pull all this whole panel out, pull the harness out that goes up to the firewall, and I'm probably going to take this panel over to my bench and get working over there. So let's go over here and we'll show you the stuff we're replacing it with. So for starters, I had Jerry get a new laptop. What's important if you're going to do MoTeC stuff with, you're going to do some DIY stuff, is you need a laptop that has a native built-in network cable. So yes, they make the USB adapters to network. Yes, they're a pain in the ass and they will cause problems. So I sent Jerry a link to a laptop, cheap, that was on sale, Lenovo ThinkPad E16. Yep, it's our go-to. So brand new laptop, MoTeC M142. We have some connectors. We have our Lambda to CAN module as well as the O2 sensor. We have the USB to CAN, which is what we're going to talk to all the ECU master stuff with, as well as a fancy little 3D printed thing that Brandon made for us to mount them up. ECU master screen, our preferred go-to. ECU master 15 button keypad. We're probably only going to use, I'd say, 8 to 10 of the buttons, but if a customer tells me they need 8 to 10 buttons, I always order more because you can always not use buttons, but you can't add ones that don't exist. PMU 16 Autosport, our go-to for a high-end drag build like this. 200 amp total capacity, 16 output channels, 2 of which are 40 amp capable, and the other 14 are 25 amp capable, and all channels can PWM. The nicer flying lead harness that comes with that you can get for the ECU master, and then that's it. So all that stuff we just talked about is coming out. All this stuff's going in. I've got, 4 days to make it happen? 4 days. So Brandon's busy over there on the Nova and some other projects. So it's me this week. So check back. All right, so day 2, it's 9:36. We've been at it about an hour and a half this morning, I guess. We're plugging along on here on Mr. Jerry's truck. Yesterday, we spent a majority of the day ripping all the old stuff out, coming up with a game plan. Game plan you can see here with my what's going where, all that stuff. I got a couple pages of notes going. I'm currently working on the PMU harness, the power management unit. So these specific things I've got in my hand is output 6 and 12. They are actually 40 amp outputs. So they require 2 pins on the PMU so they can handle the full 40 amps of output. And I'll have this wired up here shortly. Mr. Jerry's over here working on the panel. We cut it in half because we didn't need all that real estate for the amount of stuff we've got going back in. And then let's go look over at the truck and we'll see what we did over there. So we got a couple things done yesterday. Jerry had 3 buttons on the steering wheel going to 3 different connectors and wires everywhere. We switched it down to a single connector, 3 wire, common ground on the switch. So that's nice and mounted. Got the screen mounted. Keypad's not mounted at the moment because we're still working on some stuff on it. But if you take a look in here, there's a whole lot less stuff going on. So you'll see a whole lot less stuff going on here. The panel, Jerry moved the mount, is just going to be sitting right in this corner right here instead of going all the way across. And then when he gets home, he's going to remount or move these lines over a little bit. We brought power and ground pass-throughs on the firewall, also a power and ground ignition power and constant ground bus bar for future use here. Used to be a whole bunch of wires just jammed in a hole down here. We do not have it mounted yet, but you can get the idea of what's going on. So this is my connection to the existing truck wires. So that will be mounted down into that hole with a nice clean bulkhead connection there. This is also existing wires. After we did this yesterday, we decided to go a different route. So I actually will be pulling these connectors off. It's just a waste of a couple pins, no big deal. But a whole lot less stuff going on in here. Much more simple, much more better. You can see this is some of the existing wiring that was in the truck. These are for some overhead lights. So we are going to get rid of this stuff. We're going to use the lights, just use much smaller wire, get rid of the electrical tape, do it correctly. Tuck all this stuff up in the panels up there. That's one of Jerry's today projects. And I'm planning on being ready for programming later tonight. So got a long couple hours ahead of me, but we'll get it done. All right, so 3 o'clock on, what day is it, Wednesday?
Yep.
I said I'd be ready for programming last night. I lied to myself and to you guys. But it's turning out to be a really nice project. Things are coming along really nice on it. Super proud of how everything's coming along. So we're at the point right now where I am basically sorting out. So we have everything pinned. This is the first time I've done a MoTeC without a flying lead harness. So I had some extra time and that I didn't really account for, and putting pins on all these wires and putting them where they're supposed to be. I didn't think that would take me as long as it did. Usually it takes me a long time to take the flying lead harness and get all the extra crap out. So I guess it's kind of a handoff, or a trade-off rather. So what we're doing right now, we just did all the power and ground. We did all the splices. So basically you've got power coming in to the ECM, power coming back out to go to like the FCA, the CAN network. You got ground coming in to the ECM and then going back out, so you can have ground for the gate MAC, the shifter MAC, the alternator, steering wheel buttons, stuff like that. So we just sorted all that stuff out. This is going to be going to the current sensor right here. So we just got these out. That's that right there. And now we're going to do 0 volt and 5 volt. There's actually 3 0 and 5 volt systems on a MoTeC, A, B, and C. You split them up for like diagnostic purposes. So for the purposes of this harness, we're going to use A for everything to do with the engine, and B to do with everything to do with auxiliary sensors like shock sensors, other stuff that's not actually on the engine. So I've got to run 0 volt and 5 volt stuff. And then once we get to there, I'm going to pair these wires up to where they're going. A majority of them are going to go to the bulkhead that goes to the engine, and we'll have a bunch of little auxiliary wires that are twisted and going out to like drive pressure sensors, stuff like that, that didn't already come in on a 5.9 Cummins. So this will not be a super finished up sealed harness. So The end harness will look like this, open, serviceable, twisted up, looking nice. I just have shrink wrap here to bring all these together and get them looking nice. But I'm not even gonna lie to myself. I don't even know if I'll be programming tonight, maybe. Ideally, I'd like to be programming first thing in the morning, and I'd like to leave here with this thing sat in the truck, hooked to power, ready to program, and just tomorrow we'll be tying loose ends up, and the goal is tomorrow afternoon on the dyno. So we're still here, we're still at it. I don't know how many hours I've got into it right now. I think I'm like 25. So we're gonna start just low power. Honestly, I'll probably just roll into it a few times and watch rail control. And if it's all good, the first fuel setting we have is 300 milligrams. So it should be 900 horse. Can we look for like massive boost leaks or something?
Turbo's fucked. I think the turbo's fucked.
This thing won't do nothing.
I think the turbo's fucked.
I can't get it to stand up and run for anything.
I hear something right here.
We're losing water or something.
It's like really not wanting to run. I've been around this truck a lot. It runs great. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this thing? They were messing with the turbo earlier, and it's got some chunky spots in it.
That could be it.
I'd be willing to bet if we pulled that turbine off, it's probably a crispy critter. The last time it ran, before all the MoTeC and all that stuff, wasn't it? Did you have a really hard time spooling it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not going to chase it a lot.
I think
The fueling is working correctly.
Yeah.
I mean, rail pressure and all that, everything's perfect.
At Wagler's, it went 476, and then the next time we went up there, it went spool. We thought it was nitrous jets, but
I bet you burnt the
it
turbine.
just never would. It never would build boost for the nitrous to come on.
Acting like this?
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet the turbine's a crispy critter. I'm very confident that we can, do you think we could get it done faster in a week? Like if you and I were both on it Monday, Friday? Yeah. If it was me and Brandon from the start, top to bottom, I think we could have done it in about 3 days, 4 days, but it still wasn't as nice as the installs that Brandon does that, we really account for 3 weeks minimum. We really like to have it for about 4 weeks here total. So I didn't do the concentric twists like Brandon does. I just twisted it one direction. I only loomed the important stuff and where it needed loom. So a lot of the stuff was exposed wire, especially inside the cab where it's not gonna be exposed to the elements and all that stuff. So, but it's exactly what we talked about to begin with Mr. Jerry, and he got everything he wanted. He's happy, we're happy, and we look forward to seeing Jerry back here to dyno, put a number up on our board for the top 10 dyno list, and hopefully he can go out and kick some ass in 590 this year. So that's it. We got a couple more to do this spring before season kicks off, so stay tuned.